Arthur Ashe once said, "Start where you are. Use what you have and do what you can." That's the secret recipe of overcoming procrastination and being able to fulfill great things in life. My name is Joe Chege, and this is Ownership and Greatness. Let's do this.
Ownership and Greatness.
Today's episode is a special episode for me because Ownership and Greatness just hit 40 episodes, and I'm so pumped up because it's been a great journey. And thinking about how far we've come, I'm humbled by the support that I'm getting from every single one of you. Just waking up every Tuesday and making sure I put out fire content. I share great stories of people who've stepped out of their comfort zone, who decided, you know what, I want to make sure I'm creating impact in people's life. I want to make sure everything I do in my life counts. And just being able to share those stories with each and every one of you has been inspiring, has also enabled me to live in my purpose. It has enabled me to do the things that I love. And today, I dedicate this episode to each and every one of you who's always supporting Ownership and Greatness, who's always showing up, creating conversations on our social media handles, leaving us comments on YouTube and also on all the podcast platforms, and sending us ideas and stories that you think are important for people to hear, or stories that you feel like I need to research on so that I can be able to share with each and every one of you. So this is an amazing episode. And thinking about that quote is a reminder that if I never started with what I had, and decided, you know what, this thing is necessary. Like I said on the first episode, we need to step out and do what is necessary for us to be able to become great. And every single day, I wake up and make sure I do things that are going to count. I make sure that I fulfill my obligation of living life to the fullest, because tomorrow is never promised. I know we believe and our hope is to live a longer life, but then we don't want to live a life where you just live for the sake of living. No, you want to make sure you are living to create an impact. You're living and you're actually enjoying every single moment. So I want to dedicate this episode and salute each and every one of you for always showing up, for always uplifting me, for always encouraging me, because you know what, in as much as I'm giving you positive vibe, the energy I'm receiving from from all the followers, from all the viewers, from the Ownership and Greatness family is the energy that actually enables me to keep on showing up every single Tuesday and Friday for Motivation Friday. So I want to salute you and appreciate you for every single moment. And I just want to encourage you. When I think about how I started, when I decided to do this, I didn't even have an idea of how I was going to do it. I woke up in the middle of the night and I had this conviction, I had this message that I thought it was necessary for me to put out there. And that was the first time I actually even did a vlog. That's the first time I ever recorded myself talking. And when I tell you, I cringed. It was the hardest thing to do. And from that point on, it helped me take off this mask or overcome a fear of stepping out of my comfort zone and doing the things that were necessary, because I knew deep inside of me I wanted to create a platform where I would be able to share these stories. Because as you all know, when other people tell our stories, when other people narrate your stories, chances are they're going to change the narrative. But the minute we take full control of our stories and we put out stories that are uplifting and do things that actually represent who we are, then we're in full control of our life. And so I just want to encourage each one of you. It's the high time you take full control of your life and you tell your story. We have different ways of being able to tell our stories. Some people use the art expression, some people use music, some people use products that they create, they innovate to be able to solve problems in their communities, which actually help make people's life easier. We all have something in us that the other people need. We all have something in us that can help transform the world into a better place. And so this episode 40 is dedicated to each and every one of you who's always supporting this show from all around the world. Some places I've never even heard of. When I checked my analytics, I was like, you know what? I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to reach out to all these people. So one thing I just want to encourage each one of you. We all have different aspirations and dreams and goals and things that we want to accomplish in life. And sometimes we procrastinate, or sometimes we have doubts when we want to implement them because we feel like, you know what, I don't have the finances to be able to implement this project. Or sometimes you think, you know what, I don't have a solid team that can actually enable me to kickstart this project. I don't have mentors. I don't even know where to start. What I can tell you is, if you have something in your heart, if you feel a weight on you to do something, you're passionate about it, all you can do is start where you are. Just start. Nike has a slogan that says, just do it. Because the amount of time you take procrastinating, the amount of time you take wasting time overthinking, trying to plan everything so that it can be perfect before you execute, you're wasting too much valuable time, which you can actually use to do research and development of your idea. Like, for you to be able to come up with a great concept, you have to do R&D, like you have to do the research and development. So what is a better way to do that than just jump on and start working on something and then learn along the way? I'm a good example. If you start from my first episode, I recorded that thing on my phone. I woke up in the middle of the night. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't even know how to post things on YouTube. Not only that, I didn't even know how to create a podcast and be able to share it on all the different platforms. But guess what? It took me hours to do my research, and I started anyway. All I used was my phone. I didn't even have a mic. I didn't even know how to edit the videos or even the audios. I did it raw. And guess what? Once I put the first episode out there, it felt so good. And I was like, you know what? I want to try it again. And so the next day, I made sure I did some more research. And from there on, I've been learning every single day. Thinking of it then, I didn't even have the gear that I needed. I don't even have everything figured out right now. But guess what? I decided for every paycheck I was getting, I was going to set aside a certain amount to just be able to buy a mic, to just be able to buy a light, like all the necessary stuff. And I wasn't aiming to buy the most expensive. I bought the cheapest because I knew for me to be able to show up every single day and put out content, I just needed to start where I was. And that's what I did. So be encouraged. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't. The most important thing is showing up and doing what is necessary. Because when you show up for yourself, the minute you bet on yourself, the minute you decide, you know what, I know I am capable, once you build that muscle memory, once you're consistent and you're showing up every single day without worrying about what other people think about you, then it becomes necessary. It becomes a habit. And now you're going to be doing it without being worried about other people judging you. Sometimes we hold ourselves from becoming the best version of ourselves. We hold ourselves from our blessing or from all the great things that we're supposed to experience because we're too worried about what other people will say or what people are going to think about you or how do I look? How is my appearance? I don't have everything figured. Start where you have. Start where you are. Use what you can. Just start. That's all that matters. And so this episode, I want to dedicate it to Ownership and Greatness family. We've come this far because you guys never gave up on me. We are going together. We are learning together. We're experiencing this journey together. And I'm grateful for each and every one of you. So just an encouragement. Let's keep on doing what is necessary. Be encouraged. Don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on your aspirations. Don't give up on any goals that you've set for yourself. It might be, like I say, you have to dream with no limitations. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You don't get charged for dreaming. You don't get charged for thinking all these grand ideas. Be a thinker. Be a dreamer. Remember how you used to have all these crazy ideas and dreams when you was a kid? Like, you need to rekindle that in you. That's just a fact. Like, don't conform to the system where you're so focused on grinding and doing all this crazy stuff every single day and you don't have joy in your heart. Like, you need to rekindle that dream. Be a dreamer. Like, set aside some time every day to just picture all these great things that you can accomplish, and then start manifesting those things and believing as if they are, and start working towards accomplishing them. Right now, I'm at episode 40. The next milestone is episode 55, and then 50, and then the list is endless. Like, we are gonna continue and continue. And I just want to also remind you, it's not even about the milestone, it's just about showing up and being consistent every single day. My goal is to make sure I'm putting out fire content. My goal is to make sure I'm inspiring and sharing any story that I feel is relevant, that needs to be heard, that is not being given the attention that it needs, and also highlighting people who are actually doing great things in their life. And if you're one of those people who feel like, you know what, Joe, I want to be on the podcast, I want to also share my story, feel free, send me a DM, send me an email, leave me a comment on all the platforms, and most definitely I'll reach out to you and we can make this happen. This is for all of us. And as always, I aspire to inspire before I expire. That's just my goal. My goal is to be able to put content that's going to uplift this generation and also the coming generation. You see how we always go back to the archives and dig crates to listen to the music that was made in the past eras? That's what we are supposed to do. So what happens is, every time we dedicate our time and energy to create valuable information or valuable content that we share with this generation and the future generation, it's like we're creating a time capsule, something that the future generation can always come back and tap into it and learn more about the things that we used to do. So be encouraged. Don't be scared. If you want to create a podcast, if you want to start your own show, if you want to start a creative studio, if you want to become an engineer, an astronaut, whatever you want to accomplish in life, there is no limitation to it. The only thing that's going to limit you is if you don't decide to start where you are. So start where you are with whatever minimum resources you have, and do what is necessary to step into the next level of your life. Alright, as always, this is Ownership and Greatness. And as we celebrate this major milestone, I just want to salute you and celebrate each and every one of you for showing your love and showing your support to Ownership and Greatness. I believe, like they always say, each one teach one. So without your support, without you guys showing up and showing the love that you're showing, this show would not be possible. So I don't want to take it for granted. I just want to appreciate each one of you. For me, gratitude is a must. And so I just want to celebrate each one of you and remind you that don't settle for less. You're meant for greatness. This has been Ownership and Greatness. I'm your host, Joe Chege. Until next time, peace and blessing. I love you all.